everybody, welcome to or back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to make some nails with these full cover square tips in 2XL from Dev's Nail Shop. Here they are, and I've got them on my nail tip stands using some self-adhesive tabs. So here are some of the gels I'm going to be working with today. They're beautiful pastel gels, and these are from the I'm Sprung collection, as well as this White Out and Lights Out from Dev's Nail Shop. Beautiful, highly pigmented gels. So I got to go through and file the very tips of all my full cover tips with a file. I got to get rid of that little nub that comes on there from manufacturing, and I can go ahead and get started with I'm Sprung. This is a beautiful pastel pink. So I'm going to use some other gels in the process of creating these nails today. Some of the other ones I'm going to use are from the 90s Baby Dream Jelly collection for highlighting and shading, and I may or may not show them throughout the video, but they are all absolutely beautiful gels. I'm going to go through and put a nice even coat of application on my full cover tip, and when I get done I will stick this in the lamp to cure this for 60 seconds. So if I don't show something on the video, I wanted to let you guys know, and I will link Dev's Nail Shop down below so you guys can check these out for yourself if you're interested in any of these beautiful colors. Also, before sticking this nail in the lamp, I am going to flip these over for a few seconds to let everything level back before I cure it, and I am going to do 2 coats of application. So moving on to the next nail, these 3 center nails are actually the same size, so it doesn't matter which one I go with next. They will not necessarily go back on the nail tip stand in the same order that I took them off. I'm using So Fresh and So Clean. It is a beautiful pastel green gel polish. Just look at how gorgeous that color is. I'm going to do the same thing with this nail that I did with the last nail. I'm going to do 2 even coats of application, 60 seconds a piece in the lamp to cure each layer, and I am going to flip the nail over to make sure everything levels properly back to the center before curing it in the lamp before I move on to the next nail. So while I'm applying this gel polish, I did want to let you all know that not only is today's video a video sharing this nail design with you, but this is also going to be my review of these products. Since I'm using multiple products from the same company, I wanted to be able to take this opportunity to give you all my personal thoughts and feelings in comparison of these products to some other products that I've used. So you will see me bounce back and forth with that throughout the video, especially during the parts where I'm going to be focusing more on the design and kind of speeding through to show you guys how those designs came together. So now that I'm done with the application on this nail with the first coat, I'll be able to flip this over, put it in the lamp to cure it for 60 seconds, and do its second coat of application. But next it's time to move on to the next nail. Look at this beautiful color. This is called a Mint to Be. This color just screams turquoise. It is a nice minty blue color. It's very unique, and I love to find unique colors. Now, one thing I find absolutely fascinating about working with new brands of gel polish is being able to compare them to other brands of gel polish. Some gel polishes are so opaque, 1 coat of application is absolutely sufficient, though I look at it as a better be safe than sorry and go ahead and do a second coat of application to make sure you have a fully opaque nail and you didn't have some thinner spots on the nail that didn't get the same amount of coverage. Some gel polishes may take 2 to 3 coats of application to get the same results. Some gel polishes will even change color when they come out of the lamp. They could be a little bit lighter. They could even be a little bit darker. So what I'm finding from this particular brand is the consistency is there from the first coat of application all the way through the curing process. So moving on to the thumbnail, we're going to use these 2 colors, So Fresh and So Clean, and Be My Lover, which is a beautiful blue color, and we're going to do a half and half nail. I'm going to use this ombre tool from Votino because I don't have an ombre tool from this particular brand, and I'm not going to do a true ombre. I'm just going to use this to do a little bit of fading out of the color on this nail as I go along, just to get a little bit of an effect. But this nail is going to be covered with a design, so it really doesn't matter if I worked in a true ombre. I just wanted to do a little bit of a fade on it. So while this nail is coming together, I want to take a moment to thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you enjoy my video all the way through. Definitely smash that like button for me if you are. Go ahead and comment down below at any point in time in this video and give me your feedback of what you think of these products, about my nail design, or even my review of these products. If you're enjoying my content and you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that bell for notifications. That way YouTube will let you know when I post new content. So after I finish with the thumbnails application, I'm going to do the exact same application on the pinky nail as well with 2 completely different colors. I'm not going to show you the application on the pinky, but I believe I will show you all the colors I'm going to be working with. And then I will move to all the nails completely done with both coats of application. And then we will move into the design. But while I'm finishing up the thumbnail, I think this is a good opportunity to start giving my feedback and review on some of these products. So starting off, we're going to talk about these full cover tips. Now, I am loving these full cover tips. They are very well structured. They are sturdy. They have a great shape to them, a great length to them. Overall, I really am enjoying these full cover tips. However, as much as I like them, they are pretty comparable to some tapered square 3XL full cover tips that I bought from Amazon more recently. So the ones I bought from Amazon were actually a 600 piece set and they run under $12 right now. This was a 360 piece set of square and these ran over $16. So there is a little bit of a difference in the shape. However, if I have to compare the quality and the value and the price to each other, I'm going to say that I would prefer to actually go with the tapered square, get almost twice as many pieces for less money. And since I have Amazon Prime, it doesn't cost me anything for shipping. Though I do love these square full cover tips, and for the square shape, the full on square shape, I absolutely am loving these. If you can deal with a little bit more of a tapered shape, you can get a little bit more for a little bit less with a different brand through Amazon. Of course, like I said again, it's a different shape, but there's not too much of a difference between a tapered square to a square, just a little bit of difference. So if you're wanting that full-on square shape, these are definitely going to be absolutely perfect. If you're okay with a little bit more of a tapered shape, if you're looking for full cover tips and you want more for your money and get the same quality, the ones from Amazon work out beautifully. So with all of that being said, I do want to tell you, I do like these. I think these are definitely a great nail to purchase. If I have to compare the value of one to the other, I'm definitely going to suggest to make your purchase from somewhere else like Amazon and find almost the exact identical product to get more of the product for less money. I do not regret my purchase because I absolutely do love these full cover tips, but I did want to share that comparison with you guys from what my experience is with some tips I bought from Amazon. So now that I've finished the thumbnail, I'm going to use My Sunshine and I'm Sprung to do the exact same thing in the pinky. That's how it turned out, and here is what the base color looks like on all the nails. Like I said, the three middle nails will not go back in that order. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the pink one first. I'm going to be using a brush from this brand, a liner brush, and that brush is called a Hella Cute liner. It's one of my favorite liner brushes so far that I've ever worked with. I'm going to be using Be My Lover for this character today. I'm also going to be adding some other colors like My Sunshine. I'm going to be using White Out as well to do some portions of this design, and I'm also going to be using Lights Out. This white and black gel polish are absolutely amazing. I am loving these, and I will be using some jellies later on to do a little bit of some shading. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the blue. I'm going to color block this design. I know the design that I'm trying to create, so it might look a little crazy when I first get started on it, but it will make sense as this nail starts to come together. So while I'm creating this nail, I want to give you guys a couple minutes to listen to some music, to watch it kind of come to life, and I will be back to talk to you more about this nail and some more about these products in just a couple minutes. So definitely sit back, relax, and enjoy, and I'll be right back with you all. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this design start to take shape on the nail. Using the color blocking technique, I am saving myself a little bit of time and I'm saving myself some product by going through and doing it this way. Now you can do this multiple different ways. It just depends on what works for you. I try different methods depending on the design I'm creating to how I want to place everything down on the nail. So I'm going through and doing all the base shapes. Then I will go back and start to add in all the details, all the little bits of highlight and color and shading, all the details in the face, details around the hand, little details on the dress. Now I am using a photo for reference. I'm not copying it 100%, but I am using it to kind of get an idea of the proportions. You can also create an outline or a diagram on the nail of the design that you're trying to create. I like to practice doing this freehand so I can work better on muscle memory with getting the right proportions and shapes on the nail. I have done it multiple ways, but I like to work in this facet a lot more often because it helps to build that muscle memory to know just what proportion you need to get. Now, I'm not perfect at it. I am working at it. I think we're always working at improving whatever it is that we're working on, whatever our skill set is. But I do like to do a lot of designs freehand because I think it gives me the opportunity to create, like they say, that muscle memory. So my hand automatically knows where to go and how to get there. So now that the base shape is done on the nail, we've got all our base colors applied, it's time to start going in and adding the little details. Now, while blocking in the color like this, I do cure several times simply to keep the gel polishes from bleeding into each other and blurring the colors and the lines because you don't want that when you're creating a character. And now I'm going to go in and start to do the eyes of the character. I'm going to start jumping through. You'll see the face come together. You can take your time if you make mistakes when creating these aspects of your nail design. It's okay to wipe them off. It's okay to wipe them off and do them again if you're not satisfied with them, but just take your time. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. A lot of it will come together when you start to finish out the nail and adding the line work. Now, you'll see the line work come together. Now, I do double coat all the little lines and accents because you really want them to stand out. I'm going to end up matte top coating this nail, which is going to blur a lot of it. So you want to make sure that you do a good job with really accenting the nail. That way, when you hit it with the matte top coat, all those little details will like to shine through. So while I'm taking the time to add all the little details onto the nail, I wanted to take a moment and talk about this brush. So this Hella Cute liner, I use this liner brush for the entire design that you're going to see in this video today. Every single nail. Now I only do 3 nails on camera because I wanted to keep the video a little shorter, but I used this brush through the entire set. I wanted to see what kind of range this brush was going to have with different types of application, how good it was going to work for me when it came to doing the color blocking and the line work, or even adding in the little details. I ended up not even needing a micro detailer to finish out this set of nails. Now for some serious micro details, you probably will need to go with a smaller millimeter brush, but this liner brush worked out perfectly. So I'm definitely going to tell you all, this was a great purchase. Of all the brushes that I've used, this has by far been one of my favorite liner brushes that I have ever picked up and used on a set of nails. Now, as I was getting used to using the brush, there was a couple times I did apply a little bit too much product. I did have to wipe it off a little bit or thin it out with a cleanup brush to get a nice thin line, but that was definitely user error when using the brush. Sometimes we forget to roll the brush really well to thin out the line. I did do that a couple times, but other than that, as I progressed through doing the nail, it just got easier and easier to use this brush, and it's one of those things where I wish I had 2 or 3 of these brushes, because I definitely do want to make sure that I have a backup or a backup to my backup, because I'm absolutely in love with this liner brush. So as I'm getting close to the end of this nail, I will go back over most of this line work for the shadowing and the highlighting. You will see it look a little more faint, but I do touch all of that up off camera before I top coat the nail. Now I'm going to matte top coat this nail, but you're not going to see that on camera. I did all the top coating off camera. The top coat that I'm going to use is a matte top coat from the same brand. This matte top coat is nice and thin. It does not have a very strong blurring effect, a velvety effect to it. It actually cures with an inhibition layer that you have to wipe off of it, but the results are amazing. It's actually the nicest matte top coat I've ever used. I wish I would have saved that and showed that to you guys here in the video, but I wanted to let you all know what product I ended up top coating the nail with, since I left it out of the video. Now another point I want to make about this nail, I do file the very tips of these nails generally before I start working with them. I did find after I got done that I still needed to file the very tip of the nail, so I do that off camera as well before I top coated it, because I want to make sure I want to seal in all my edges. So I did go back over the very tip of this nail and buff it off again really well, and then clean the nail really well before I went through and applied the matte top coat, making sure that I capped the end of the nail. So I'm going to play music for a couple minutes while all the little line work starts to be done on the nail. And if you do see my hands go off camera with the nail, that is simply because I am in the process of sticking the nail in the lamp to cure the nail for 60 seconds. Every time I cure a nail in the lamp, I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds. Sometimes I will cure up to 2 minutes for the final cure before I do my top coat. It just really depends on what products I'm working with, but these particular gels, I'm only curing in the lamp for 60 seconds at a time. So I'm going to play some music for a couple minutes while all those last little details come together, and I will be back when we move on to the next nail. But before I play that music, I did want to mention the products that I'm using to do the highlights and shadowing and the hair in the face and the body are all from the 90s Baby Dream Jelly collection from the same brand, and I did not show them entirely on camera, so I just wanted to let you all know those are the products I'm going to be using to add in all those little details. So this is the way it turned out. I'm going to touch up on these lines, and here it is with the lines touched up and the matte top coat applied. I absolutely love it. So now I'm going to move on and do this thumbnail right here. So I'm going to use several different products. I'm going to use this color called Dreamy and My Sunshine. Dreamy is from a different collection. Dump Him is this red jelly polish that comes from the 90s Baby's Dream Jelly collection. I've got the white out as well that I'm going to be using on this nail. I'm going to be mixing some colors. So I mixed some colors together to get this color right here and this red. Since I did not have a red the time I did it, I used that Dump Him color to actually make a red with the white out. I'm going to use lights out as well, and that little bit of black, a little bit of that red, and I made a brown out of those colors. And I'm also going to use So Fresh and So Clean and Meant to Be in this nail as well as I go along. So I'm going to do this one a little bit faster. You will see this nail come together, and I will play some music too along the way while I'm doing that. But before I start playing any music, I'm going to start talking to you all about how I feel about these gel polishes. So first I want to tell you the color Dreamy that you saw me pull out, that is actually from a collection called the Heavenly French. All the gel polishes are available, as far as I know, for sale individually. I did buy the entire Heavenly French collection. It has a lot of different shades of pink, and it is a great collection to have for doing French tip nails. Now, the reason I explain that is because the different collections that this brand carries kind of tailor to different purposes, like the Heavenly French or the I'm Sprung collection is a collection of some beautiful pastel colors. There's also some other collections that I have and some other collections I want, but they all seem to tailor to a specific tone of color and a specific type of gel polish. So this collection right here that I'm primarily working with is a nice pastel springtime collection. And now the Heavenly French, like I said, is great for French tip nails, but it has a lot of different shades of pink in it. A complexion collection is another one that I've recently purchased that has a lot of nude tones to it, ranging all the way up to a very, very deep, dark chocolate brown. Now, the 90s Baby Dream Jelly collection, which I use a few different colors from that collection in this particular video today, is a very interesting collection because this is a collection of jelly polishes. When you look at them from an outside perspective, you see a primary collection. You see a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. There's also a teal color in there and a pink color in there as well. Now, when swatched over a clear nail or applied over a clear nail, you're going to get those colors. But when you're using other colors in the background, it will change the effect of these colors entirely. And the reason why I say that is because there's a color that I used for the hair in the last nail, and it made the hair look more golden in spots, and it's the yellow hued color from that collection. It's actually called Totally Buggin'. So when I use it over yellow, it's going to make it more gold. When I use it by itself on a clear nail, it's going to look yellow. But if I was to use it over top of a white, it will actually have a greenish to brownish undertone to it. And that's kind of a play on words to the name Totally Buggin', because it kind of reminds you of a squish bug. I know that sounds gross, but it really reminds you of that. So it's really interesting. The green in that collection is really soft, really soft green, and it reminds me of like a liquid green candy. Or the pink in that collection is really bright. It has a neon tone to it. So it's a really interesting collection with a lot of beautiful jellies in there. Like the orange in that collection by itself is orange. But if I put it over top of white next to the red jelly from that collection, they are so similar. in their tone. The orange is so intense that it's almost red on its own too. So it's a very interesting collection, and it's nice to have for those little extra touches, and it's beautiful to use by itself. So when you purchase a collection from this brand, they are an 8-piece set. So you're going to get 8 different bottles, and you're going to get a wide range of colors. The collections are nice because you get 8 different polishes, and when you break down the price of the polishes per bottle versus the cost of the entire collection, you're going to save some coins when you buy your gel polishes as a collection versus buying them as individual bottles. Now, when you've already purchased a collection, you need to replace them. You definitely will want to purchase individual bottles, but it is a nice way to get all of those gels at the same time and save yourself a little bit of money. So aside from some loose colors that I bought as per my need for those particular colors, I've actually gotten 4 separate collections from this particular brand. And I started off with some essentials first to check out the quality and see what I thought about the products. And then I moved out to getting some other collections from there. One thing I will say is their white and their black gel polish, their white out and their lights out, are absolutely amazing. So if you're looking for a good black and white gel polish, these are by far the best ones I have found so far, and that is a lot to say for the fact that I've tested out a lot of different brands. So are their top coats. Their non-white top coat and their matte top coat have been my favorites so far from any particular brand that I've ever used, aside from the Votino top coats that I absolutely adore using, because the quality is there. So if you're going to test out the brand for the first time for yourself, check out the top coats and check out like the black and the white gel. Check out a couple gel polishes first and see what you think about the color and the consistency and the quality of the gel. But from my experience and what I've seen so far, everything that I've purchased from this particular brand has just been absolutely everything and beyond that I expected it to be. Now, I do have a few other brands that I absolutely adore working with and that are extremely high quality as well. Born Pretty being one of those brands, Madame Glam, and products from Medusa. But aside from the fact that I have worked with those brands for a while, this brand in particular seems to give me a different type of result when I'm doing my nail art, especially this type of nail art, than the result that I get from some of the other brands. So with the black and white gel polish, okay, they're very pigmented. But the fact that they're very pigmented is not the only aspect of those particular gels that I like. What I like is when I get done curing them, I don't have a huge inhibition layer that just removes so much of the pigment when I get done with my nail design. Now, just like with a lot of gels, you do want to do a second coat of application for certain things. You're just going to get that regardless. But I did find with those 2 particular colors that I absolutely love the fact that I'm not getting that. With the matte top coat from this particular brand, it does not pick up the pigment and blur it all over the nail. It goes over the nail without drawing out that pigment, and I do love that about that matte top coat. I like each particular brand for different reasons. Having multiple brands is also nice because there's different effects from different gels. Not all black gel polishes are the same. You can line up 10 different brands of black gel polish and you're going to get some different results depending on the brand. So for this particular art, this brand works out beautifully. When I want a different type of nail, another brand is going to be just as good for that different type of nail. So I do have multiple brands. So you will see multiple brands on my channel. So I'm not going to just stop using other brands because I like this brand a lot for my experience. But what I'm saying is I am finding with these particular products work great for these types of application. But since I'm taking the time to give you my personal thoughts and feelings, I wanted to include all that information in there. I like multiple brands of products. There's different products from different brands that do tend to work better than products from other brands. They're not all the same. Not all full gels are the same. Not all top coats are the same. And not all gel polishes are the same. And so you have to find the ones that work best for you. The only thing I have seen about this particular brand of gel polish, the only one little thing I've noticed, I do find bubbles a little bit more from time to time with the gel polish. You do have to remove the bubbles in any gel polish when you get them. I do notice them a little bit more from time to time, but it could just be little simple things. It could be the way that I'm mixing the gel polish at the time. It could be anything like that. So always keep that in mind, that you are going to find things about every particular brand that, you're going to have to work around if you do find that product having a problem like that. But it's not a big, huge problem. It doesn't happen so consistently since I've been working with these. It's just happened. But I have not noticed it as much, so much in the past. But it is not, a hang up for me where I'm not going to use the product because I found a bubble or two. If you find bubbles in your nails, you do need to remove them before the curing process, because if you cure them in there, you are going to have a bubble in the nail, regardless of what you do and whatever particular brand you're working with, if you do find a bubble in there. So as I've been talking about how I feel about the gel polishes, a lot has been going on in the background. We took that little bit of an ombre nail. I put a little bitty house on there, a little bitty roof, little mushroom house. I've added some details onto the roof. I went through and added a little door, little window, little walkway, little chimney, little upstairs attic window. When I'm building designs on top of designs, I am curing before that so I can go in and build some more designs over that. It's just taking my time to add in all those little details. We're actually going to cut to another day because I didn't get to finish this in one time. And here are a couple colors I'm going to be working with next. And here's a couple of those jelly colors. There's that green I was talking about called Flubber, and my lips are tealed, is that beautiful teal color from the 90s Baby Dream Jelly collection. I'm taking an ombre sponge with those two jellies I mixed together actually, and I'm doing a little bit of ombre on the very, very top of the nail. That's going to add some shadowing. I'm taking this tool. This is also from the same brand. This is called Slim Shady, and I'm using that shading tool to just draw that color down a little bit and get a little bit more of a shadowing effect. When I get done, I will cure that in the lamp, and I actually go back over that a second time to make that a little bit darker. So I'm going to build some trees in the background, and I want to have that little bit of a darkness behind the trees and that shadow under the trees. So I'm using those jellies and this shading brush to get that effect. Then I'm going to go in with that beautiful green pastel and start to add some little boughs in the trees. I'm going to build around the nail and add all these little chunks of green in there. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit darker color and fill in around that. I just want to kind of give some spots where the light's hitting and some spots where there's going to be some shadows. So you will see some of that application, and then we will jump forward. And I did spend a little bit of time creating this nail because I was playing with it and having a lot of fun. There's little details that will kind of come into play as we jump through that I'll talk more about. But for right now, I'm just going in with that green color and just adding some little spots where that light is going to be hitting the leaves on the trees. So I'm going to play some music while you guys watch the top of the nail come together. The bottom of the nail I did off camera so we could move on to the next nail after this one. But I'm going to go in and add that lighter color. Then I'll go in and add the darker color. I'm going to go in and add some tree trunks, some tree branches. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of some lighter versions of these same gels that I cut in with a little bit of white. And I'm just going to do some little dabs along the branches that are going to be really faint and hard to see, where there's just going to be some leaves that stand out. And I'm going to do that around the whole upper portion of the nail. And then I'm going to finish the bottom portion of the nail off camera. And then I'm going to matte top coat this nail as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this nail coming together. There aren't any really special techniques. I'm just using that liner brush to kind of draw everything around and just do some little dabs and some little line work just to kind of bring it to life a little bit. I'm not trying to make a realistic tree. I'm not doing the Bob Ross thing, and you know who I'm talking about, and trying to make these pretty little happy trees. I'm just trying to make something just like cute and cartoony to kind of really go with the little mushroom house that I am creating on this nail. And at the bottom, I'm going to add things like grass and some flowers. I will darken up the path. I've adjusted some things on the nail a little bit since I first started it, and just widened some things up and added some little bits of shadow and stuff. Like the path, I will take a little bit of a darker version of the color, add a little dab of black into the brown that I made, and then I will use that to add some little dark spots throughout the path and things like that with the Slim Shady brush as well. So you'll see it all come together at the end of it. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this nail come together, and if you have any questions, definitely let me know down in the comment section. I love any feedback I get from you guys, so I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have, and hope you guys enjoy this nail coming together. So this is what the nail looks like so far with all that little texture in the top of it. And I will go through and add all the finishing touches and finish out the bottom. And here is what it looks like completely done with its matte top coat on it. I absolutely love it. So next I'm going to work on the pinky nail for you guys on camera, and then we'll be able to see the entire set finished. So for the pinky nail, I'm going to write some letters on here. I'm just going to go in and start putting them down. I'll go through and thicken up the lines and straighten them out as I go. I'm going to do a few of them on camera, and I will finish the rest of the letters off camera, and then I will come back to do some added little finishing touches to this nail. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Definitely smash that like button for me if you are. Comment down below, let me know what you think. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you're enjoying my video, consider subscribing. That way you can click that bell for notifications, and YouTube will let you know when I post new content. So while we're wrapping up the end of this video and the end of this particular design, I wanted to take a moment to talk to you all about this video. So I had a great time making this video and for multiple reasons. So the characters I created in this video have been with me my whole life, from my early childhood till the present time, and they have changed over time as well, evolving from comic book strips to television to movies to new TV shows. Their looks have changed. Their attitudes pretty much stayed the same, but the scenario and situations going on around them have evolved over time too. So, this particular set of characters takes me back to some really happy memories from my childhood and throughout life. And it's kind of bittersweet because these characters have been in my life my entire life and they've evolved right alongside with me. And it's so wonderful to see something like that stick with you throughout all this time. I mean, there were things from my childhood, from my early memories that I enjoyed or liked that were kind of those one hit wonders. They really never evolved past that point. You know, they might be those throwback things that we see, but they didn't grow along with us. And these characters right here have grown and evolved along with me throughout my entire life up to this point. So it was a lot of fun, and I had planned to do a set like this for a really, really long time, and finally found the right timing for me to go ahead and create these, especially for myself, you know, not just for you all, but for myself. Now, these nails certainly didn't turn out perfect, but I like them. I like the way they turned out. Could they have turned out better? Oh, yeah. Could they have turned out worse? Yeah. They could have went either way, but I like the way they turned out, and I'm happy about this particular design for you guys and to be able to share it with you and share that little bit of me with you guys along with it, you know, my enthusiasm for this. So I'm glad I went ahead and made these, and I'm glad I was able to share them with you, and I'm glad that I had purchased these gels. I think they were perfect to do this set of nails, and like I said, I had a whole lot of fun creating this set. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you like them. I'd love to see some creations of these particular characters time and time again, whether it's more of a up to date version of them or a classic throwback version of them. Either way, they are just timeless to me, such classic characters, and I absolutely love them. And I don't care if it's a movie or a show, I'm still going to watch it even at my age. I don't care. I still enjoy them. I love animated characters. I love animated movies. I love the new effects they have with the movies and with the characters, how they've changed them so much over time, added all that detail. Oh my gosh, can you imagine the detail that you could put in the sets of nails of these? You know, it's just amazing to watch things like that grow. I've always been a cartoon fan. I love anime. I love animated movies. I'm also an avid gamer. For those of you who have no idea about that, about me, I've been a gamer my whole life, and I have owned pretty much every platform out there that's ever been created, essentially, well, in my time span. And I've been a PC gamer as well. And so I absolutely love RPGs, role playing games. I love anything fantasy as well. So that's a big part of me. And I wanted to share that with you all because moving forward on my channel, I want to be inclusive of more things that have a lot more to do with me as a person in my day-to-day life and what I actually enjoy doing aside from my art, and that's a big part of my life. So hopefully I'll be able to connect with some more people out there who enjoy some of those same similar things, who enjoy anime, who enjoy gaming as well, because I'm not just into nails and nail art. I don't just unbox things or show things, review things on my channel. There's a whole other side to me as well of things that I enjoy doing, and those are some of the bigger parts of my life and things that have had a big effect on the type of personality that I have. I also enjoy cooking as well. So there's a lot more to me than just Jamie H nails. You know, Jamie H has a lot of interests, and anime and gaming are definitely some of my bigger ones, you know, as far as pastimes are concerned, things that I enjoy doing that were relaxing for me and, you know, that I do in my spare time. So I just wanted to share that with you all, and I hope you guys enjoy that. And, you know, if you have any experience with your feelings towards gaming or anime, animated characters, animated shows. Definitely let me know down in the comment section. I'd like to know what you all like to watch. I really do. What kind of games do you like to play if you're a gamer? I am curious to know about that because I would like to connect with some more people that have those interests as well, aside from just doing nails. So if you're only here to see the nails, I get it. But if you do have some other interests like that, feel free to share down below. I would love to hear about it. And with all that being said, I just want you all to know I don't have any plans for gaming on the channel, live streaming gaming, anything like that. So don't worry, we're still going to be Jamie H. Nails here. Okay, still going to be nail content, unboxing reviews, household items, things like that. But if you do see content that's relative to things like that in the future, I just want you all to know, that's because that has a lot to do with me. So if you see more characters or things like that on the channel that are relative to those things, that's where that's kind of coming from. So I just wanted to share that with you all. So this set is done. I went through and highlighted all the letters with the blue. I added some flowers in there with a dotting tool just to make it cute. And then I hit it with that matte top coat. So this set of nails is done. Here is all the nails. I did another character on the ring finger on this set of nails, and it turned out so cute. I love the way that turned out. I kept it nice and simple like that. And also the middle finger, I did have to go in there and tell you all to have a smurfy day. Yes, with some flowers. The matte top coat made this set look really cute. And thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed this set of nails. And here's what they look like on my hands. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.